Hey, everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence. The week begins on Monday, January the 23rd. There are several very positive major transits this week, no negative heavy aspects. Now, let's just start with Monday. The moon is in Aquarius. It's more eclectic, more friendly, outgoing energies, looking to the future. But it will be void, of course, that I talk about every week. When the energy is flat, it's unproductive. You don't want to make important decisions. You don't want to launch important new projects when the moon is void, of course, which is 2:20 a.m. Pacific time until 9:37 a.m. Pacific time, at which time the moon goes into Pisces with no other further activity for the rest of the day. Pisces is this creative, sensitive, compassionate energies. When we get to Tuesday, the sun in Aquarius for the whole day will be lighting up favorably optimistic, expansive Jupiter. So all things Jupiter, it's you can start activating. Jupiter is higher education, publishing, updating your website, travel, making long-range plans, teaching. All these positive qualities of Jupiter, you can start putting a favorable spotlight on. Plus the moon in sensitive Pisces, creative Pisces, will be in harmony with Uranus, innovative, progressive Uranus, mid-morning Pacific time. With the Uranus, this can bring in a lot, starting the day, feeling more excited, more open to new ideas, getting out of any kind of boring routine and trying something new. Wednesday, the moon continuing in Pisces for a few hours before it changes signs. From about 8 to 9, 10 a.m. Pacific time, the moon will be in harmony with Pluto. Pluto rules the unconscious, the underworld. It can be a very favorable time for counseling, for having an astrology reading. That's all part of the occult of Pluto. Doing a lot of research, great for meditation, introspection. By 10:49 a.m. Pacific time, the moon leaves watery, sensitive Pisces and goes into fiery, dynamic Aries. And by early evening Pacific time, the moon in Aries will cross over expansive Jupiter in Aries. And so by the early evening Pacific time, the general tone of the public, of those around you with Jupiter is more optimistic, more upbeat. When you go to Thursday, the moon continuing in Aries, assertive, ambitious Aries, kind of like putting the fire on all of us to get motivated. But around 7 to 8, 9 a.m. Pacific time, the moon, the emotional moon, will be in tension with rational Mercury. This is not a favorable time for an hour or two for meetings, for trying to have a heartfelt discussion with others. It is a time when your rational thinking Mercury could be more influenced by your bias, by your emotions. But this too shall pass because it's only strong for an hour or two. Friday, as the moon continues in initiative Aries, by 7, 8 a.m. Pacific time, it's in harmony with stabilizing pragmatic Saturn. Now, by 1:01 p.m. Pacific time, The moon in Aries goes void of course until 3:43 p.m. Pacific time. Again, the void of course, just stay the course, stick to your routine, don't introduce anything important new. It's a good time for just rest or reassessing. At 3:43 p.m. Pacific time, the moon goes into Taurus. When the moon that sets the public tone was in Aries, Aries is all fired up. It's courage. It's let's go on an adventure. When the moon goes into Taurus, the general public tone, Taurus likes routine, likes things steady, like things calming. By early evening, by around 6-7 p.m. Pacific time, that steady, calming moon in Taurus will be in harmony with Venus, pleasurable, relational Venus. It's a Friday evening. It's the beginning of the weekend. This would be a really comfortable time to go on a romantic dinner, to go to a party, to be socializing, attending entertainment events, because Venus is all that creative energy, but also looking for harmony in relationships. Saturday, as the moon continues in steady Taurus, by early evening, it's going to be excellent or in flow with communication Mercury. So a Saturday night, that moon Mercury, this is very favorable for communications, for speaking, for writing, but also you could be more emotionally, that's the moon, stimulated with conversations and great ideas, especially as the moon is moving just right after it's excellent with communication, intelligent Mercury, it's going to be crossing over Uranus. Once a month, the moon will cross over every planet. And Uranus is exciting. It's out of the blue surprises. Excellent for trying something all new and original. It can bring in a lot of excitement. So this Saturday evening, early evening Pacific time, could be, it's really supporting all kinds of new adventures, new, exciting, trying something original. On Sunday, there's two major positive planetary events. So there's a tremendous amount of activity. All you have to do is grab the wave and ride it. What's happening is the sun is shining twice a year, very favorable to Mars. Sun Mars could be excellent for sports, for starting an exercise routine. That's what the physical body, because Mars is the athlete, the warrior. But Mars is also courageous. It's bold. And that sun putting a spotlight on Mars is really encouraging us to take risks, not be afraid, to go for it. It's a great time to start an adventure. And communication Mercury will also be in harmony twice a year with Uranus. Uranus is this inventive, progressive energy in harmony with intelligent communication Mercury. So this is also an excellent idea to be learning new technology, for coming up with exciting original ideas. And then with the sun Mars is having the courage and the confidence to take these new ideas and to run with it. And that's going to really start the next week, the next work week, with a lot of very positive, stimulating energies. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.